Okay, so after you have your cardboard loom ready to go with your weft string on here, it's time to start weaving your colors through. So you can pick the colors and thicknesses of the yarn you want to use. What I did not show you in art club was we could make, I took more cardboard and I made this shape out of it. It was a rectangle at first and I cut 2 little triangular notches in it. And what I did was I took some light blue yarn because this is one of the colors I wanted to use in my weaving, and I wound it around that little piece of cardboard. This little piece of cardboard with the yarn around it, this is what it looks like with no yarn, but I'm going to put the dark blue on there. It's called a shuttle, and the reason it's called a shuttle is because you're going to shuttle this shuttle through your weaving over, under, but I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in a minute. So I'm going to get this shuttle ready with my dark blue. I'm going to take off some from my skein of yarn. Remember, this is a ball of yarn, but usually when you get like the really big pieces of yarn, like this, or the ones that are more oval shaped, they're called skeins. And what you can do it like how we were doing online, but also you can use a shuttle. So this was a cardboard, and a piece of cardboard that was rectangular, and I cut a triangle into this side and to this side. I'm just gonna wrap my dark blue around the shuttle, not too tightly. Okay, can leave a little bit hanging. So now I have 2 colors that I'm going to weave with. All the colors that you think you want to use, you can make shuttles for them. What I'm gonna do, and I didn't show you this either, but I think since I'm making the video, it's going to be good to know this. This and this is just another piece of cardboard, okay? They're just very skinny rectangles. You can use rulers too, but they have to be flat and rectangular. You guys know the pattern of weaving, so you can start with which one you want. So if I go under, the next one has to be over. Under, over, all the way to the other side. And one of these pieces of the rectangle, a rectangular cardboard, I'm going to push to the bottom and leave it there. You'll see why. The other one, I'm going to weave in opposite of how I wove this one. Now this one started with under, over, so I'm going to use over, under for this one. I think this will really help you a lot. It takes a little bit of time to set up, but it's really worth it if you want to get into weaving. And this is how real looms are made. Okay, so what you will do, now that you wove this top one, you're going to leave the bottom one in always. But now that you wove in this top one, what you can do is stand it straight up, and it opens the weft string so that when you put your shuttle of yarn through, I'm gonna unwind a little bit on my shuttle. You don't have to take this one little piece of yarn and go over, under. It's already this piece wove for you, and you can send the shuttle through without doing anything. Okay, now remember, when we're weaving, the whole entire line of yarn has to go through. Because I already wove in my rectangular piece of cardboard, and I opened it by turning this up straight and letting it stand, I did not have to take my yarn and go with the end over, under because the cardboard did it for me. So now what I can do is make this flat and take it out, make sure this end hangs off just a little bit, and I'm gonna take this one and move it up so I don't have to push it up with my fingers. But you don't take this out, it slides back down, okay? So my first line of yarn is through, and it's woven correctly, over, under. Remember, it's very easy to make a mistake, so just try to pay attention to what you're doing at first until you come up with a rhythm, because since it's a pattern, it is like a rhythm. Now, I'm gonna take this piece again, and instead of taking my shuttle and going over, under, I can put this through. So it was over, so now this one's going to be under. I know that it seems like a lot of work in the beginning, but once you get the hang of it and you know exactly what to do, you kind of can't forget it. So this one is woven opposite of that. I'm gonna take it, stand it up, and now I can send my shuttle through, my shuttle of yarn through. And I don't want that loop hanging out so much, so I'm going to pull it a little bit tighter. I can take this out now. Remember, this is the one that doesn't come out. Here's my end from the beginning. This is the one that doesn't come out, but you can use it to move up the yarn. Now there's a little loop here, so I'm just going to pull it a little bit tighter. Not too tight, but if you look really closely, my weaving is coming. It's coming together. And the more strands that I do, the longer and thicker it's going to get. And the other way we were doing it in art club the other day was if you try out these shuttles and this long skinny cardboard piece and it's not really working out for you, and you'd rather just take a piece of tape and tie it around or roll it around the end of your yarn tightly, or if you have a good plastic tapestry needle, and one that's not sharp, they sell them at the dollar store, I see them sometimes. You can use that too, a needle to help you guide the string through, but you can still do it this way. This is the way we were doing it in art club. That was over, so this is going to be under, and you just guide it through. But it's really up to you, whatever works better for you, whatever you're more comfortable with, because you can work just as fast doing it this way. It depends on the person, what you prefer. I like this though, because I can use this piece of pushing to push it up instead of my fingers. Now it's nice and even. Looks good.